I don't know if you've been following my my account or my Twitter or watching any of my live gameplay, but I was using a lot of Hog Cyclone Ladder. But honestly, it's hard to push the top 200 with Hog Rider. With Expo, it's a lot easier because you can outplay a lot of people who aren't quite as good at the game as the people in the top 200. But with Hog Rider, I was versing guys who'd be using like Giant Prince with Tornado. It's just a lot of weird decks that was like really hard to beat. And if you look at Jack, who's considered the best hog player in the world, he actually uses Expo to get to like top 100 in the world, and then he'll use Hog to get to like number 1 in the world. So I kind of copying his strategy right now, literally because it's the only like decks I have maxed. If you look here, but it's a pretty good strategy, and that's what I'm gonna do. But as you can see, I finally maxed out my Xbow literally this morning, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a push. And as you can see, I did manage to push. Well, originally I was top 100 in the world like probably an hour or two ago, but now I'm 115 in the world. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna push more off camera when I don't have the pressure of doing live gameplay on, but I will go over 3 replays and 1 live battle. I'll do the live battle first because I'm guessing most of you guys like live battles more than replays. But if you want to stick around till the end, I'm going to have replays versus 3 of the hardest matchups. So P.E.K.K.A, Golem, and Graveyard with Bowler. Actually, that was a pretty easy matchup, but I just thought it was a really good game, so I'm going to share that too. And let's get right into it. And, oh no. I think that this guy has... Oh, I think this guy is giant. I'm pretty sure I faced him earlier and lost him. So we'll wait and see what he does. Go Arches in the back. And I think since he... We'll wait for his next play. I don't know why he's putting up the flag. We're going to go with Expo here and do a little trick. Oh. He has Golem. Actually, this isn't bad. I don't usually even struggle against Golem. We'll just defend this, and really, the reason it's okay to play this Expo is because I'm going to defend just fine, and then I'm going to be able to cycle back to another Expo. As you can see, I've already cycled back to his Expo, and he's like 3 cards away from his Golem. It's just going to be a question here of does he have Rocket? And okay, we'll go Expo here. I'm guessing he has Rocket, so I'm not going to get too aggressive. Okay, that was a good wizard. Just go ahead and log that. I think I might have missed my log. Does that hit the tower? Yeah, that doesn't hit the tower. Bad log on my part. But we did get a lot of tower damage, and this is actually looking really good right now. So we got our skeletons. We're just gonna cycle our skeletons. Tempting to go with Expo, but he has an elixir advantage, so I am not going to risk it at this point. And ooh, I really hope this isn't a bad decision by defending before I push here. But I think it is the right decision. Play our Ice Golem there. And there we go. And we're going to set up our Argents in the back. And we're going to go Expo opposite lane, but he's probably not going to Golem. He's probably going to Golem on the right side. Yep. Which is a good play on his part. That Expo is not going to get a whole lot of damage, but it's okay. We're just gonna fireball that. We're gonna start our Expo now. I don't think he has enough elixir for Golem. Ooh, nice. We kind of got him there. See, I'm not afraid to go aggressive with my Expo at all, because I know I can just play my Tesla in that position that I am doing right now. And here, we'll start our Xbow opposite lane and where he's playing that Night Witch. And that Magbean's gonna get a lot of value on me. I'm gonna Ice Spirit here just to make sure that that golem dies, because a Tesla plus Ice Spirit can pretty much completely kill a golem. Oh no, that's that was not a little bit unfortunate on my part. We'll go ahead and keep that alive. And here I think we outcycled this golem. And there we go. Yep, we outcycled those golems. So good game. He had a really good prediction wizard at the end, but that's how you play that matchup. You can be aggressive with your Xbows, although you don't want to like Xbow when they're obvious. Well, sometimes you even do. Let's get to wrap up the live gameplay. I ended up 115th in the world. So to start with this game, obviously I'm just going to cycle Ice Spirit in the back. You never want to start with the game with an Xbow, so I am not going to start with the game with Xbow, and Ice Spirit's the cheapest card in my hand. The only thing I never really like to start the game out with is Ice Golem, because it can just, I just really like to try to save it for defense most of the time. So I start my Tesla there, because going aggressive with Xbow in the opposite lane would be a bad idea, and this Tesla will kill that Valkyrie as soon as it walks up. My thought here was that I knew exactly what deck he has because I've watched a lot of this guy on YouTube, so I kind of knew what to expect. And since he had Inferno Tower, I predicted that Inferno Tower, and it was a pretty good Xbow overall, which doesn't end up getting any tower damage, but it does end up baiting out a lot of troops, and I end up with the Elixir advantage. So here I'm ahead by 2 Elixir, not that big of a deal. And the thing is, I think I might go Xbow here. Yeah, I do go Xbow. The only problem is that I don't have my Ice Golem cycle, so it's not going to be too good. But since he plays his Valkyrie all the way in the back, I can play, or I can just wait. And I knew that he had Bowler, so I'm just gonna sacrifice the Xbow at this point. And here I probably should have gone with Ice Golem, but instead I go with Tesla, which does end up being a mistake, and I think does end up costing me some tower damage actually, because it was a really bad Tesla and it's gonna get no value. So I basically lost 2 Elixir. He goes to the graveyard there just to kind of prevent me from cycling back to an Xbow, which was a smart play on his part. I do Ice Golem log it. It gets a lot of damage on my tower. So definitely very good by him. He knew that I didn't have my Xbow in cycle, so he knew that I couldn't punish him if he played that Graveyard Freeze. But since he did go Graveyard Freeze, I cycle back to my Xbow, and here comes the punish. I'm just playing troops in front, just making sure it stays alive. And here I'm thinking, man, this guy's low on Elixir, so I'm gonna play my Tesla and try to get some damage out of it. But he does use his Bowler to kill my Tesla, so and arrows. And did that Bowler, I think, I wasn't really paying close enough attention, but that Bowler might have gone through the Tesla and hit the Xbow at the same time, which if that was the case, that would be very unfortunate, but well played to him. I do go Xbow opposite lane here because he has committed a lot of Elixir, and I don't want him to be able to freeze, and if I pressure in the opposite lane, he will not have the Elixir to freeze because he's going to have to defend that Xbow, or he's going to have to tower trade, which probably would end up in him not getting the tower and me getting his tower and me winning. So we'll play on his part. And here, man, I'm low a lot, so I'm thinking, man, I have to keep up the pressure here because I cannot let him have enough Elixir to get a freeze. I do predict his Inferno Tower again. At this point, I'm keeping track of his cycle, making sure that he cannot use his Inferno Tower to kill my Xbow. And then he starts offensive freezing, which is an interesting play. It kind of works out and it kind of doesn't. He does kill that, and he does manage to kill my Xbow, but I'm just going to wait for that to die, and then cycle back to another Xbow because I already have a Tesla alive, so that Tesla's going to get a lot of value. And here I predict his Inferno Tower again, and it does die. I go with another Xbow, and honestly, at this point, I don't even know how I didn't win the game. Like, his defense here is very impressive. It takes like a whole nother Xbow to win the game. Yeah, and he's not happy because I kind of got him low in elixir. I have an elixir advantage, and he's having a lot of trouble defending it. I do go Ice Golem there. I have my Xbows. I'm just keeping out the pressure. I'm making sure that he does not have enough elixir to freeze. If you're in single elixir, this isn't always the best idea, but once you get to double elixir, it kind of is the strategy. And there I'm just making sure his Inferno Tower dies because I just want to set up another Xbow. And I'm just keeping up the pressure, He doesn't have a big spell, and at this point I'm just stacking Xbows, I'm stacking Teslas. I'm playing my Ice Golem predictably so that if he does Bowler, or if he does Inferno Tower, it's not gonna kill my Xbow because I have an Ice Golem protecting it. And man, this is a super long game, but I think it's super good. He plays this super well in defense. He makes sure to distract my Xbow. I do go ahead and Fireball there, just because I know he doesn't have a big spell. So I just want to speed up the process and try to kill that Inferno Tower. Just because the Inferno Tower tanks for so long, it's actually ridiculous. And since I wasn't getting that much damage through, I thought that was a good Fireball. And there he does manage to freeze, but I make sure that his Valkyrie doesn't lock onto my Xbow, and I win the game. So that was a good game. I did have the counter deck in this scenario, but he played it pretty well. So I think it's a good game just to see both perspectives, and honestly just to see how he played, even if not how I played it. Okay, we'll show this replay against Minor Cycle. So at the start of the game here, he goes to the Spear Golem, so I just defend it. Oh yeah, the reason I expo there is because I know that either he has. As soon as I see Spear Golems, from all the decks that I faced, I know that Spear Golem decks are either Mortar or they're Minor. So I wasn't afraid to get aggressive with my Expo because versus Mortar and Minor decks, it's a good idea to be aggressive. So I do go aggressive. Not much happens. We end up even on Elixir, and now I'm up like 1 Elixir because he uses Log. And I'm thinking, you know what? I just outcycle his Valkyrie, so I'm gonna go Expo Tesla at the bridge. Normally, you don't ever want to go Expo Tesla at the bridge if they have Valkyrie in hand, but since he didn't have Valkyrie in hand, it was a good play. And there we go. My Expo is gonna lock on the tower and get a lot of damage. But this isn't even the Expo that wins me the game. You're gonna see in a second here, the next Expo is going to. So this guy is about to get, yeah, he's not happy. He's about to get fancy and try to predict my Expo, which isn't a bad idea, but it's not going to end up working out for him in this case. So I'm just going to split my archers in the back, or not split my archers. I play him same lane because he just uses poison, which was a good play. And then I go Ice Golem same lane as that, and since he did use his Valkyrie, I was going to go, well, I was waiting to see what he did. And since he just uses Valkyrie, I know it's a good idea to go Expo Tesla opposite lane. And he wasted his Tesla. He tried to predict my Expo, but I mean, I wasn't about to play an Expo into a Valkyrie. That would have been a really dumb play. So it was kind of a bad prediction, but it ended up winning me the game. And as you can see, I just basically defend the rest of the game. I'm gonna just go ahead and Fireball Cycle him because I know that versus Minor, if they play it right, they can get through your Expo. It's just a matter of tricking them at the start of the game. I just play defensive Tesla. I just Fireball Cycle him. As I said, if I try to get damage through with another Expo, it's just not going to be that easy. Because he can just kind of block my lane with Valkyries, Minors, and Poisons. We'll go to this P.E.K.K.A game because I think P.E.K.K.A is another matchup that a lot of people struggle with, including me. But it's just a matter of, at the start of the game, can you outcycle their first P.E.K.K.A. If you can outcycle their P.E.K.K.A, then you can win. If you can't outcycle their P.E.K.K.A, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I start off the game with Skeletons. I go with Ice Golem, cheapest card in my hand. He's not doing anything, so I go with Archers. In the same lane, just because I'm thinking I have an Elixir advantage, so if he poisons this, then I can go Expo opposite lane, and it's going to be a good play, right? So here, I go with a high Tesla. And what I'm thinking is that I'm trying to set up for an Expo. I'm already thinking that this guy has P.E.K.K.A. So, I'm not worried about him like going giant in the opposite lane, so I'm willing to go with my Tesla high. Since I already have my Tesla alive, I go with Expo at the bridge, and now I'm just going to play reactively according to his play. I do have my Skeletons ready, because Skeletons defend Expo well. I did misplay a little bit there. I wanted my Skeletons to distract the P.E.K.K.A, and I wanted the Ice Golem to distract the Royal Ghost, but the the Royal Ghost ended up hitting the Ice Golem, so it wasn't the best. But it doesn't end up mattering because now, as you can see, I've outcycled this P.E.K.K.A. I play my skeletons there. I thought those skeletons would stop the bandit from getting a charge. I wasn't happy about that. But now I know he's one card away from his P.E.K.K.A. So I'm gonna go with Xbow Tesla the Bridge because I know he's gonna have to waste a card, and it's just in order to cycle the P.E.K.K.A. So as soon as he does cycle that P.E.K.K.A, I can distract it, and it's not gonna instantly lock onto my Tesla. And there I get a lot of damage. So at this point, it's like I just have to keep up the pressure and get a win. But he goes P.E.K.K.A in the backs, and I don't have Xbow in hand, so I can't pressure him opposite lane. I could cycle to my Xbow, but that would be kind of it just wouldn't be a good play. So instead, I'm just gonna defend. I just gonna play my Tesla. I always like to play the Tesla in that spot on defense. I put my Ice Golem to distract everything, and this is just like, yeah, pretty much just defend for as cheap as possible. I log there, kind of just to cycle, and because I know it'll get splash damage on all the troops. And now that I already have a Tesla down, I go with another Xbow, and right here, I'm not thinking this Xbow is going to lock on to the tower. I'm just thinking that I'm going to be able to cycle to my next Xbow. But surprisingly, it does actually lock onto the tower, and it finished off the game, which is, well, it doesn't finish off, does it finish off the game? Yeah, it finishes off the game. And I wasn't even expecting that to finish off the game. My plan there was to play my Tesla and then cycle back to another Xbow, but I ended up getting the victory. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my hog guide. So far it's a 4-video series, gonna make it a 5th, but it's actually like really helpful, and it's generally one of the decks that I'm really good at now. I took like 2 months of practicing to learn it, so I think that most of what I say is pretty accurate. So check that out if you want to learn hog, and it's gonna wrap it up. So VULKan out.